Hello all YouTubers, I am the Weather Dude. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you all for tuning back into this weather presentation for August 23rd, 2019. As always, please don't forget to subscribe, as well as ring the bell notifications. Never miss one of my videos again. And please consider liking and sharing this video. And as you all know, my videos in the description provide superior weather content that you won't find anywhere else. So please don't forget to check those out. And please consider watching the video because today we are going to be tracking 3 areas to watch. We have Chantal, it's already gone. We have Invest 98L in the Atlantic Ocean. We're going to be doing the Atlantic Ocean today. And we have Invest 99L. And it could be, so once, after Invest 99L, it goes back to 90L twice. So we could have 90L again. Instead of, it wouldn't go to 100L, it would go to 90L again. So you could have potentially another 3 areas to watch. But mainly focusing on 2 for today, 98L and 99L. The ones that are officially named or declared invest already. So this is for invest 98L, as you can see, and for proof AL98, that means 98L. Alright, so let's move this over here, and let's look at the wind shear. Again, I want you to notice that we barely have any. I mean, in the next 5 days, this storm will be encountering 15 knots of wind shear or less. And maybe a kind of 13 to 15 knots of wind shear once, about 4 to 5 days out. But other than that, wind shear is mainly below 10 knots. So wind shear, like upper level winds are pretty low, favorable for development. Let's see. Our next one is sea surface temperatures. The ocean temperatures are going to be well into the 80s, even close to 90 here. As you can see from the stretch, about 12 hours on through about 48 hours, about 30 to 30.5 degrees Celsius, and that's around 88, 89 degrees. Now we'll be over land, so but 88 to 89 degrees Fahrenheit to ocean waters, so very warm ocean water as well. And I just forgot, actually. I do have 7 future videos. Now we'll do some other videos besides this one, these videos that I have listed here, but I forgot to show you some of my future videos. So again, the volcanic lightning explained, ocean and beach forecast number 4, winter 2020 forecast number 2, sea level rise videos by city, my 12th Atlantic hurricane discussion, my fall forecast, and I added one there that says hypothetical 2025 Atlantic hurricane season animation. So I just do an animation based off of an educated guess of what hurricane seasons could be like. And usually they do ones that are tens and tens of years from now. But I did one already that is about 2020. So that's only a year out. But I did do one for that already if you want to go check it out after this video. But anyway, going back to what I was talking about here. So let's look at the storm speed. Look at this. The storm speed is not moving any more than 8 knots all the way through 5 days. At the fastest, it'll be 8 knots, and that'll be about 3 to 4 days from now. It'll be moving at 8 knots. But other than that, it's very slow movement. Even 8 knots is slow movement, actually, as well. And finally, the heat content. It's going to be way up there. Especially right now, it's dealing with some 52. That's a lot more heat content, the better. And some higher heat content values as well in the next, say, couple days. So now let's go to Invest 99L. What is this storm going to go through? Again, let's start with wind shear. Again, the highest wind shear will be 17, 18 knots. But after that, the wind shear is pretty darn low. Wind shear will not be a problem with this storm system at all. I think the problem will be the dry air. Let's see. Next one is sea surface temperatures. And those are pretty warm as well. 28 to close to 29 degrees Celsius, which is really all you need. All you really need is about 26.5 to have some kind of tropical development. So we got plenty of warm ocean water out in the tropical Atlantic where this storm is located. I'll show you that later on in the video. Storm speed, this one moving a little bit faster, but it is forecast to slow down in the next about 2-3 days. It'll slow down to like 10 miles an hour as opposed to it's moving about 16 miles an hour now. And heat content will go up as well in the next, once it gets to about 5 days out. But heat content is not all that great right now, but we do have some warm ocean water, and that's really all that counts. I mean, besides wind shear and dry air as well. I waited until 2 p.m. It's 2:06 right now. And I waited till 2 p.m. so that I could show you this. And 2 p.m. updated graph from the National Hurricane Center. Now Invest 90L has a 70% chance to form in the next 2 days, 90% chance to form in the next 5 days. So surface and radar data along with satellite indicate that low pressure area just east of the coast of southeastern Florida is becoming even better organized. The low forecast become generally northwestward, near and over the eastern Florida peninsula, and it will eventually move over the Atlantic back over the Atlantic waters on Saturday, and then the system moved northeastward offshore. But regardless of development, we could see some heavy rains as well. And look at this, an Air Force Reserve Hurricane State aircraft. So the air reconnaissance on Tropical Tidbits. If you go to Tropical Tidbits and you go to aircraft recon, they will. When will they be doing the mission? Let me see if it tells you. On Saturday, so that's 2 days from now, an aircraft recon will fly. The hurricane hunters will fly into the storm if necessary, which I think it will be necessary. But if you go into this section, it'll say something like NOAA or some kind of mission into Invest or Tropical Depression if it happens to be named by then. But you'll see it on the aircraft recon on Tropical Tidbits if it does. So that's 90% chance to form. And of course, our Chantal, 30-mile-an-hour winds. This thing is pretty much going to heck. It's bye-bye. It'll probably just dive to the south, curve back to the west, probably get absorbed by a front or a jet stream, just get pulled back out this way with, barely having any energy at all by then. So, but bye-bye, Chantal, R.I.P. Thank you for doing nothing to the United States, which is a good thing. And disturbance 2, this is Invest 99L. The last update at 8 a.m. said 20% chance of development. That is now at the 50. So recent satellite wind data indicate that a low pressure area has formed now. And the tropical wave before, I recall, being about 1,300 or 1,400 miles away. Now it's 1,300 miles away. So it's been doing some pretty good movements here. It's moving pretty quick. So it's giving you less time to prepare for the Leeward and Windward Islands there. Additional development of the system is possible in the next few days, and tropical depression could form late this weekend, just like Invest 98L. It could form early next week as jelly moves west-northwestward at 15 miles an hour. So this one could rapidly develop. It's some pretty favorable conditions for development. So this is Invest 98L. And I was watching the Weather Channel this morning, Jim Cantori and AMHQ, and he was showing that we do have a low center. It's kind of hard to see, but it's pretty much moved on shore, right around here somewhere, near like Miami and Homestead. Which all the convective activity, because there was some slight wind shears coming off the top of the storm. So with that being said, all the convective activity to the east of the storm, which it should be, but still, all the rain over the Bahamas right now, they're just getting smashed. And now this is Invest 99L. And you can see on the left side of the screen, we definitely got a spin. It's just not in a, relatively, equalized position. There's no, like, if the low center is pretty much, like, right around here, right? Well, where's all the convective activity? All the convective activity, all those thunderstorms is to the west of the storm center. So, it is getting better organized. We definitely see a major spin. I just don't think the spin is in the right spot, in my opinion. Alright, so here's Invest 98L. Alright, so here is model guidance here, taking it into central southern Florida, and then back out over the open waters of the Atlantic, where it could form off the coast of the Carolinas. But I think either way, at minimal, the East Coast will get hit by some big waves, especially if this storm strengthens. It's going to radiate out more wind, and the stronger the storm becomes offshore, the stronger the waves the higher the waves will be, and the better risk for occurrence along the East Coast. So at minimal, probably some current risk for the Atlantic or East Coast. Now let's look at some of the intensity guidance here, and they're showing a lot of guidance shows tropical storm. Now there are some models that are pretty bullish, like the TCOP and these models here, but in general they're pretty reasonable this time. They're saying that tropical storm, none of them taken into a Category 1 hurricane as of now, but pretty much all of them are showing that it could become Invest 98L could be a tropical storm within the next 48 hours or 2 days. Alrighty, so with that being said, let's go down to Invest 99L. These both have sustained winds. Let me see if I can refresh this tab and get the latest data. No. So as of 8 o'clock this morning, I can't seem to get the 18 UTC, the 2 p.m. But so Invest 98L and Invest 99L both have sustained winds of 30 miles per hour. Invest 99L is actually a little bit stronger. The pressure is 1012 as opposed to 1013 on 98L as of right now. And look at the guidance with this. Like 3 of the models take it into a Category 2 hurricane at the very least, but they all make it a tropical storm in the next 2 days, which does have a 40% chance of happening in the next 2 days, and a 50% chance of happening in the next 5 days. So definitely something we want to watch. across the Atlantic Ocean. So that is all the data that we have, at least for the current storm section on Tropical Tidbits. And here's the sea surface temperature anomalies. This is where 98L is right now, getting ready to make landfall, if not making landfall already near Miami. We can't really count it a landfall because it's not really named tropical storm yet. But once it moves over the Carolina waters and eventually up the East Coast, or near the East Coast, I mean, it's not going to have, not much of a good time. Or not much of a bad time, I should say. It's going to have a good time. And we got ocean temperatures near 90 in this area right here once it leaves Florida. But even, look at this, all the way up north here. This is like the same latitude as like New Jersey, New York, Connecticut. And we got 80-degree waters soaring all the way up there. And in fact, let me see how far up those 80-degree waters go. Let's go to analysis tools. Let's go to North Atlantic real fast. I really wasn't planning on pulling this up. So look at this. The 80-degree waters go all the way up here. That's like the same latitude as like almost Massachusetts up in the North Atlantic there. So it's pretty warm up there in the North Atlantic. All right. Let's go to the tropical Atlantic now. And according to our current storm information on Tropical Tidbits, thank you, Levi Cowan, we are at 9.8 degrees north and 41.7 degrees west. So looking at that, that means the current storm, 99L is indicated, is located right there where I just circled. Well, of course, it's a little low because there's a low pressure forming now. Again, 50% chance of developing in the next 5 days, as opposed to 90% with Invest 98L. And it's going to move into some warmer waters, and then maybe some cooler waters over in the Caribbean, but, that could obviously change by the time it gets there. But definitely the tropical Atlantic really heating up, and the Atlantic hurricane season in general is also heating up. So it's sitting in ocean temperatures of around 28 to 29 degrees Celsius right now, which is about the mid to upper 80s. And pretty much sea surface temperatures should be around 28, 29, pretty consistent. Maybe if it happens to go farther south, it might touch 30, but I think it should sail probably north of that, going in like in this region or in this region right here. So that's kind of like what the track could be like potentially. And I got news for you. We have another tropical wave behind Invest 99L. We have to watch that one. That could be Invest 90L eventually. And in fact, let me see. Let's go to satellite imagery. It's not an official Invest yet. And let's see if it's... It appears to have kind of weakened a little bit. It doesn't look all that impressive. But there it is. It could certainly get better organized like Invest 99L did. I definitely do see a spin up here, but there's too much really dry air. But there is a tropical wave behind that. And that could potentially mean some development. Who knows? We'll have to see. Alright, so now I'm going to go to some model guidance. This is so the GFS and all the other models were too crazy with this. I hate when the maps keep bouncing around when you play the animation. So this one, and the other models like the GFS were just, crazy weak in the storm. They took it into Canada and it was like, whoa, like, it must have had a glitch. So HWRF describes this best. I like this, model best. And this is where it is right now, basically. 2 p.m., 18Z, right on the dot. And it's the same pressure. The pressure is really accurate as well. 1013 here, and it's just north of Miami and Homestead. And as we take this animation forward, it does bounce the storm around. But eventually, by early Sunday morning, this is around 5 o'clock in the morning on Sunday, the HWRF shows that it's getting off the coast. And as you can see, this is surface winds. Not 5,000 feet like I usually show, but this is surface winds. And a little bit of green, max winds of 38.2 knots. That is definitely tropical storm status. All you need is 39 miles an hour. And I'm actually going to pull up this, KT to miles per hour, knots to miles per hour, so you guys can get ideas. So max winds here will be about 44 miles per hour on about Sunday morning, according to this model. Then it continues to advance, so now it's getting to just east of Jacksonville, actually, by this point. And we do see some reds, and look at the winds. 60.8 knots. That is like borderline hurricane already, to be honest with you. Let's look. 60.1, was that what it was? Was it 60.1? No, 60.8. Okay, sorry about that. 60.8. That's 70 mile an hour winds. So that's borderline hurricane. Okay, and then it just went down to 38 knots again. Okay, so I don't know if that's actually part of the storm. Take that out, because I don't know why it went from 60 knots and then goes down to 38 again. But don't really follow that. That was wrong. But this is real. Here we go. This is actually real. And if you see that purple to the northwest of the storm center, where you see that, that's the hurricane. Hurricane force winds, 66.1 knots. No, that is actually true. I must have a little glitch here. 66.1, 76-mile-an-hour wind. Sometimes the models do that with the glitching. But you can see this blob of wind, and look at this. This is like adjacent to North Carolina by this point, and look at this. I mean, we're talking about nearly 76 knots. That's like 87-mile-an-hour winds we have now by this point. So, high Category 1 strength, and again, there it is, 72 knots. So a little bit weaker, but overall, at least according to the HWRF, this is going to be a Category 1 hurricane, and I do agree with them a lot. But look how far out the tropical storm force winds go from the center. That's the little center, and the tropical storm force winds go all the way where you see the green. So that's a pretty big range. Let me go back. So I am now going to show on the GFS model real quick. Let me pull it up. Here we go. So this is the GFS model Invest 99L. Again, the HWRF was messing up 99L like GFS was doing to 98L. So for this model, we're going to use the GFS for this storm. And you see, according to the GFS, it might be a tropical storm by the time we head into Sunday morning. Again, just like the National Hurricane Center said, late this weekend. And there it is to the north side, but it'll be a even stronger tropical storm right here. Okay. Maybe I have to click through the animation. There we go. And now by Monday, overnight, Sunday to Monday, we got a pretty strong storm here on our hands. 46.6, that is 53 miles per hour wind. 53 mile per hour winds. And the GFS is even showing a hurricane. Here, unless I just got the newest run and it doesn't anymore. Ours, we got 61, 63, 63.9. So 64 is just short of a hurricane, but I mean, overall, GFS is making this thing a hurricane. I bet you if you looked at the 60 run, I bet you that's when it made it a hurricane. I bet you how. Yeah, see, there it is. That's what I was looking at this morning. So, but still, overall, it hasn't really made it any weaker. They say that potential tropical storm Dorian, and let me see what the named storm is. Aaron. Dorian and Aaron could be our two next named storms. 98L could potentially become Dorian, and 99L could be Aaron, depending on which one forms first. It all depends. Okay, so we're going to go to, okay, you don't need that slide anymore. So this is the dry air map here, and again, 99L is just avoiding that dry air. But eventually, it's going to have to encounter some of it, although the dry air will probably be the main problem with this. Wind shears are low, sea surface temperatures are warm, you got the heat content, you got the instability, you got the convection. And again, there's potential Invest 90L. Not actually Invest 90L, but there's our next tropical wave coming off the coast of Africa. And you can see, again, just like 99L, it's following its footsteps. It's missing that dry air. So can it turn out like 99L? Potentially. But look at 98L. Absolutely no dry air to contend with at all. Once it goes into Florida, once it moves up the East Coast, it is A-okay. Alright, and let's look at our heat content. And where 99L is right now, we got some decent heat content, say around 75. But where 98L is, we're talking about over 125 almost. And then once it moves up the East Coast, maybe we're talking about like, 50 to 60. So not bad for heat content. This comes out every day. So it's a pretty, on point map. And here are the wind shears. Here's where 98L is right now. No wind shears to contend with. And actually, over the Atlantic Ocean, near the East Coast, the wind shears have actually dropped 5 to 10 knots in the past 24 hours. So you can see that blue dotted line means it's decreasing, white solid line means it's increasing, and then obviously if there's nothing, that means it's never increased. And here's Chantal right here, Chantal, tropical depression now. It wasn't a tropical storm for long, about a day or two, and then it just dissipated. And finally, our tropical intensity index here. You can't really see 99L, it's like over here somewhere. But you can see 98L on this map, because that's only where it provides. So there it is. Right now, highly favorable. And once it gets off the coast, highly favorable as well. So my opinion, as of right now, unless the model guidance changes, I will update you on this. Again, don't forget to consider the reminders that I showed you earlier, some of the videos that are coming up. Again, those videos coming up that I showed you on my reminders app, I might do videos before those. Those are just some that I thought about ahead of time that I might do. So that's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Stay tuned to my channel for updates with 98L and 99L, tropical disturbances. I'm the Weather Dude, signing off. Till next time.